Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. From websites and online stores, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence. Hello friends, I hope that you've been well. I finally have my Japan vlog. This is going to be one of two, and this was my very first time going to Japan. It has been a #1 destination for me for a very long time, so grateful to have finally been able to go. And if you happen to be new here, my name is Tina. I am also known as imawonder on most of the internet. I'm a full-time artist and creator based in Toronto, Canada. And yeah, my channel mostly consists of art-related things, showing my illustration process. And also I do vlogs where I show when I travel, what I get up to in my day-to-day life and how I run my small business. And also I do live streams. So if you happen to like this video, no pressure, but feel free to check out the rest of my channel. Without further ado, let's go to Japan. I started out in Toronto, then I had a layover in Vancouver, and then finally made my way to Narita, Japan. And then our accommodations was in Tokyo. We had a very quick evening here since we got into Narita about midday. And then after we grabbed a quick bite, had some sleep, we headed over to Harajuku to start our first full day in Japan. We grabbed some food. I, of course, had to get the kid meal because it came with Sanrio stickers. And then I did some shopping in Harajuku, which was one of my top destinations in Tokyo because I love shopping and I love clothes. And so we also hit up some other spots. We went to Kittyland, which was insanely cute. I had to prevent myself from buying everything in this store. I'm such a sucker for adorable things. It was like 5 or 6 stories of various adorable items from different types of brands. I really wanted to buy dishware, but you know, traveling with that kind of stuff is so fragile. But if I could have my entire kitchen set be from Japan, I would. Of course, me being a BTS fan, I was enthralled by this huge BT21 section, and of course all of the magical girl and anime memorabilia as well. And then we headed over to this really incredible shopping spot, La Forêt, and I could have spent all day in here. There's such an amazing sense of fashion in Japan, especially Harajuku. I think that if I had a little bit more wiggle room, I would have spent way more time in here. I did pick up a couple of things which I'm so happy about, which I'll show in the future Japan haul. But yeah, such a cool vibe. There was like art gallery kind of vibes, but also lots of really cool fashion. And yeah, I think that it's just, there's some really, really unique pieces here. And that was something I noticed with Japanese people, is that they have a really unique sense of fashion and everyone across the board is just so well dressed. This store was one of my favorites. And I did pick up this shirt that you see me trying on here, which I am obsessed with. And the people working here were so sweet. Then we made our way over to Pop Mart for some really cool blind box toys. My friend Chris is really into these figurines, and of course now I'm taking an interest in them, so I had to pick something up for myself and I picked something up for her. I'm obsessed with these skull panda girls. They are so cool and they just have this like slightly edgy kind of haunting vibe to them, which I'm obsessed with. I had also grabbed Chris a bunny series blind box, which are super cute. Something that I love about the Japan subways is that they have stamps at various stations, so we tried our best to catch as many as we found. And then I just love the anime on the screens here. So cool. Only in Japan, right? Then we headed our way to Yokohama, which is Chinatown essentially. And of course, I had to film and take photos of every single cherry blossom tree or cherry blossom adjacent looking tree that I came across, since we did come during cherry blossom season. Yokohama was really cool. We basically just wanted to eat our way through this street. And yeah, it was really hectic, but really, really good. I was obsessed with these little bear looking pastries. There was savory and sweet. They were so freaking hot, but so good. And then we also grabbed some shaved ice. I got mango, which was delicious. But before we continue, I just want to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for supporting this channel. And I have been using Squarespace for a number of years now. I just recently set up a new secret Patreon shop, which has been so easy and so intuitive to use. It probably took me an hour or less to set it up, and I'm so impressed with how easy it is to rearrange the items and add new ones. And I also, of course, love having a dedicated platform to show all of the things that I have to offer as a creator, including my YouTube videos and an updated Instagram feed, which is just so helpful, so I don't always have to constantly update it manually myself. So if you're interested in launching your own website, head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/imawonder for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Then we hopped onto the Shinkansen, aka the bullet train, and made our way to Osaka. And yes, we spent many a morning at a 7-Eleven, Lawson's, Family Mart, what have you. The konbini, aka the convenience stores in Japan, are seriously next level. All of the rumors are definitely true. We had most of our breakfasts and iced coffees or sustenance in the mornings from there because it's really affordable and also delicious. And yeah, Japan is just so efficient and also incredibly clean and adorable. I fully understand why people love coming here so much over and over again. The subways are also all themed a little bit different, which I thought was really cool because in Toronto, they're definitely not. They're all pretty much the same. And yeah, again, love the stamps. So cute. And then in that morning, we headed over to the Cup of Noodle Museum, which none of us really knew what to expect, but it was super cute and really wholesome. Here you can see there's all of the various designs over the years, lots of just fun little kitschy things. And we also got to decorate our own cup of noodle and customize our own cup of noodle, which was very fun, and it felt like an episode of How It's Made, which I loved watching growing up. Then for lunch, we headed over to this buffet style restaurant, except it's not a typical Chinese buffet that you might think of. So if you've ever done hot pot or Korean barbecue, it kind of has a similar effect to that, except instead of a hot pot or a grill in the center of the table, it's actually a deep fryer, and then the actual items are all on skewers. It was extremely indulgent, but it was very, very good and also kind of fun. It's just very novel to be, breading these little skewers and then deep frying them. And I was just so obsessed with the little octopus style sausages. It just felt like straight out of an anime. They even put little faces on them, the details. I was obviously also obsessed with this matcha fountain, not just chocolate, matcha. Incredible, so delicious. These are cream puffs covered in matcha sauce. So good. Then we did some shopping that was within the same building. There was lots of claw machines, which will be a theme in the next vlog as well, and tons of really cute anime merch. And I was very taken with these anime paper art boxes. I didn't pick any up, but I obviously wanted to show you guys because so many of my faves are in there. And of course, we got a photo with our cute little babies. Then before our next destination, we hit up this little Jaguar Cafe, which just had the most delicious mango smoothie ever and pretty much exclusively played Blackpink, so I was here for it. And when in Osaka, you absolutely have to go to Dotonburi. It's very iconic, super bustling. We actually stumbled upon what I assume a J-pop group performing. Right here. Holy shit. Yes. I am both a carrot and an army, so I went absolutely feral every time I saw any of my boys. And besides my K-pop agenda, I also really wanted to do a photo booth at least once during this trip. Unfortunately, we realized too late that this photo booth did not have the cute filters and stickers to add onto them. But in any case, the photos are still adorable, and I'm still very glad to have gone to do at least one photo booth. The other must in Osaka is Shinsaibashi, which is a food plethora, and we had to get takoyaki as well as okonomiyaki, which were both delicious. We had also stumbled upon this, what I kind of equate to an amusement park ride game, arcade game, and I was terrible at this, but Kyung was actually quite good, where you have to shoot a cork and hit the snacks off. And yes, this dancing flake okonomiyaki was delicious. And of course, some Spider-Man cake for dessert. We unfortunately were in Osaka only for one day, basically, but I have to say Osaka was very, very cool. It has an extremely lively, trendy, cool vibe to it, and definitely would love to come back in the future and explore all the other things that it has to offer. Then the next day, we checked out of our accommodations. Here's some more cherry blossoms, of course. And we had a very hearty breakfast at Ramen Zendoya. And this apparently was actually Kyung and Steven's favorite ramen place in Japan, a ramen chain, I should say. And here I finally got some footage of us using the many machines that you would use to order your food, which I thought was really cool. And here you can see the guy making our ramen. Such a cool experience to be able to watch people make the food in front of you. And I gotta say, this ramen was so good. Very rich and very filling, which was perfect because we had an extremely strenuous day ahead of us in Kyoto. Kyoto is very well known for their temples, and so we hit up the Fushimi Inari Taisha, which is probably the most famous since it has a roughly 10,000 gates, which was incredible. I will say this hike was intense. I'm not the most athletic person, but we were all very determined to make it to the top of this mountain. And I don't remember exactly how long it took us, but I do remember partway through the hike, there was a sign that estimated 40 minutes to the top. And then we still had to make our way down. I don't have any footage other than the one that I got of Bangchan with this made it to the top sign, but Q Mangne on top, for those of you who know the joke, you know. And then of course, the trek down. And for the cherry on top from this hike, we also got to see both of the shrine kitties. They were black and white cats. One was a little bit chunkier, one was a little bit feistier, and they're pretty famous. They even have their own merch, which I think is adorable.
Ready. Which character did we get? The pig. Oh, it's so cute.
And because we love pain, apparently, we headed over to our next temple mountain, Kiyomizu-dera. This one, thankfully, was not nearly as intense as the previous one. It also boasted some incredible sights. The scale is so hard to capture on camera, but seriously, it's amazing. And then afterwards, we wanted to grab some snacks, take in the beautiful Kyoto architecture, which is got a very traditional feel, which I love. And we also had to go check out the famous Kyoto-style Starbucks, very iconic. Sadly, this Miffy store was basically closing, so I didn't grab anything, but I wanted to show you the adorable things that they had to offer anyways. And then, yeah, we pretty much called it a day. We ordered Pizza Hut because we were so pooped and got ready for the next day. Day 2 of Kyoto unfortunately rained the entire day, but that wasn't going to stop us. We had a lot of things to do. First was the Arashiyama bamboo grove. Absolutely breathtaking. And looking at the footage now with the rain in the background with these beautiful sights, it is honestly quite the magical combination.
Wow, look at the leaves on the tree.
Arashi, I'm pretty sure it means storm. So it's like storm mountain. We came at the perfect time. Exactly.
Then we slowly made our way to our third mountain of the trip, which was the Arashiyama Monkey Park. I was honestly quite nervous because there's a lot of rules about not looking them in the eye and not crouching in front of them, but they ended up being actually quite chill and pretty cute, actually.
Go.
There we go.
Absolutely loved the theming inside of this restaurant. It felt very appropriate for this Kyoto temple trip. And I'm just such a sucker for details and theming. So Japan definitely knows how to do that with the utmost care. Then for our second animal adventure, we headed over to Nara, which is very well known for the deer. And yeah, they're totally wild. They just hang out in the park all around the streets. And they are actually more aggressive than the monkeys, which is definitely not what I expected. Extremely cute, of course, but yeah, they are more aggressive than you think. But I just shared some footage here where you are supposed to bow to them and they'll bow back and then you can feed them. It's very, very sweet. But yeah, some of them were a little bit aggressive, I'm not gonna lie. Like this one who was harassing me. And as you make your way through the deer park, you can visit the gigantic Buddha temple. It is like, I can't even describe it to you. Like, the footage doesn't do it justice. The scale of it is so crazy. Originally, I had wanted to bring my cup of noodle home with me to try, but honestly, I wanted to save more space in my suitcase for more souvenirs, so I went ahead and had it, and verdict? It was adorable and pretty good. Then we checked out of our accommodations and headed over to our third day of Kyoto, where we treated ourselves to a really nice ryokan, and we had a really delicious lunch that was attached to the ryokan.
Sure.
Then, after a very delicious lunch, we headed over to another temple. This one is known as the Golden Pavilion. And after all of the previous rain, this was such a welcome weather change. It was so gorgeous and perfect for this temple viewing. And then after that, we quickly headed over to Toei Studio Park, which was a last-minute addition to the itinerary because I had happened to see a gigantic Evangelion on our way to another location the day before on the subway, and I was like, hold on. The anime nerd in me must fulfill this particular task, even though it was not planned, because holy crap, guys, it is insane. Absolutely insane. And yeah, you got to basically go through a process where they see if you're compatible with an EVA. It's really cute. So we made our way up to the top of the EVA. I unfortunately forgot to grab footage of my girl Asuka, but they really did our poor boy Kaworu dirty. They stuck him all the way out here. This poor boy has been through enough. Anyway, I didn't get footage of it, but basically they get you to sit in the cockpit and you pull both triggers on each handle. And I think that's how they decide. It blasts you with some air, and that's how they decide if you're compatible or not. Damn it! Clearly, I'm not fit to be a pilot, but I already knew that. Anyway, definitely a highlight of the trip. Such a, an amazing sight. And very quickly wanted to check out the rest of Toei Park. Unfortunately, it was close to closing time, but it was kind of cool to see how desolate it was since it was basically going to close soon. And yeah, apparently they do a lot of filming here for movies and TV shows because of the Edo period Japan theming. Should we go see? This little animatronic ninja scooting across the way just made me laugh. He's so slow and it's so obvious. I just think it's so funny. And then on our way out, we also checked out the Kamen Rider exhibition. I guess it was their 50th anniversary. I'm actually not familiar with the show, but it was clearly very popular because I saw it all over the place when we were in Japan. And then on our way to dinner, I just wanted to pop by and into this bookshop. I loved seeing so much manga readily available in so many places. I didn't pick any up because I wouldn't be able to read it regardless, but I loved seeing all of my various faves, and I even took a snapshot of some that I was curious about checking out when I got back home. And then for dinner, we hit up a local izakaya. I don't remember what it was called, but it felt very local and it was delicious. Then to cap off our final day in Kyoto, we headed back to the ryokan where we had the complimentary tea and snacks. I hope you enjoyed coming along the first half of my Japan trip. As I mentioned, there will be a part 2, and I will be going to the Ghibli Museum. I go back to Tokyo where we do some shopping in Akihabara. I also go to the largest art supply store called Sakaido, and we also go to Tokyo Disney Sea. So look forward to that in the coming weeks. And I will also be doing a separate video for a Japan haul of all the things that I bought, and some of those things being art supplies. So those will also have their own dedicated video. So feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you want to stay tuned to all of the Japan stuff and also whatever stuff I get up to this year. And if you are keen on the Japan related stuff, I did make an hour-long podcast on my Patreon channel where I go through my itinerary, and also I share a PDF of document of the things that we did, as well as sharing tips and things about traveling to Japan. But of course, no pressure to support me monetarily. I will also very greatly appreciate a comment or a like. And in the comment section, please let me know what your #1 destination travel dream place is. Because for me, it was Japan for a really long time, and now I've gone, so it's pretty magical to have that off the list. Although I'm not gonna lie, I already want to go back. So there's that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day or evening, and I hope to see you in the next one, or even better, I'll have some other videos for you to check out if, you want to stick around for a little longer. Anyway, bye.